Hey everybody, you want to get your concert photography noticed? That's what the topic of this week is. So hang tight and we'll see you in just a second. Hi, I'm Robert Maxfield and I'm a music and concert photographer in Dallas, Texas. And I've been one since 1977 and I've photographed a long list of all kinds of people over the last since 1977. So anyway, here's some information for you. So the topic of this week's video is getting yourself noticed, getting your concert photography noticed. And how do you know if your concert photography is getting noticed? Well, how do you put it out there? The normal way most people put things out is Instagram, Facebook. They may have a website or they'll have me in print publication. But how do you know that your photographs are actually hitting the right people that you need them to? That's the trick. So let's give you an example about Instagram. Okay, Instagram. I put out a picture on Instagram. You can see it looks like that. And there's a button down here, a little place that says View Insights. And that's not a bad photograph. So I look at it. Now, granted, there are 2.4 billion people that use Instagram. 2.4 billion, okay? Out of that 2.4 billion people that use Instagram, my insights tells me this picture reached 110 of them. 110. Of that 110, 65 of them were of my 1,104 followers. 65 of them were of my 1,104 followers. And 42 of them were of my non-followers. So, I'm sorry, this is kind of like farting in a gale. It's useless. I mean, why do I put this out? When I put it out there too, I put the photograph out, and the person that sees it may see it for a whole total of 2 seconds, and then it's gone, or they may lose it and then never see it again. So what happens is you need to have your viewers driven to your Instagram homepage. Okay, so let's go to some other statistics. 110 people viewed out of 2.4 billion. I am a member of a area Facebook music photographers group. That music photographers group has got 138 people that are in the group, all of which have portfolios and are music photographers themselves. Out of that, on average, for the last batch of photographs that I put out, my photographs were seen by 30 people. Of which, out of that 30 people, 3 or 4 actually liked my picture. 138 people and only 30 viewed it. So that tells you the forum is real small, and it tells you that the people that are viewing it aren't very many. And the other thing you need to realize is the people that are viewing that are photographers. So the only advantage you gain by having other photographers look at your work is they can look at your work and they know who you are. So when you're in a pit or you're at a festival or something like that, they know who you are when you talk to each other. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of another photographer say something good about you to somebody, and that'll be good. But 138 photographers and 30 views on average. I'm also a member of another forum that has 5.4 thousand music photographers worldwide. And another one is 7.5 thousand photographers worldwide. So that tells me that on the forums it's very small, and the amount of people that view them is very limited. And by the time sometimes some of these people get around to viewing them, it may be a month later, 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later. They may never even see your photographs because there'll be 50 things out in front of them. So the problem is you're not getting views. Did I say Instagram has 2.4 billion viewers? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's talk. What is your goal for getting noticed? How are you going to get noticed? Obviously, through some of the things from Instagram and Facebook, you're not going to get noticed. And of the people that are going to view your photographs, are they the people that you really want to view your photographs? Are they going to do you any good? Okay? Probably not. Other photographers will see it. So you need to get into a forum that has artists, it has venues, it has managers, that kind of forum, rather than some kind of forum that has other photographers in that forum. You need some place where the people that are going to be needing you to do the work are going to be able to see you and look at your stuff. And they're going to need to look at your stuff more than 2 seconds. Now, I will give Instagram a little bit of something. Instagram, when I post something and I post it to an artist Instagram page, a lot of times, a whole lot of times, do I get responses and feedback and comments from the artists themselves, and that's really, really good. There's a lot of places you go that you won't get any feedback from them, or they won't even say boo to you, but Instagram does do that, and that's really good. So let's say, what is your goal for getting noticed? Okay, so is your goal to get a media pass? I got a whole list here. Make money, get published, become known, self-fulfillment, no goal at all, work with a band, collect artists. What's your goal? Do you have a goal? Okay. If you're going to do this, and I know I see tons of people out there tell me that they want to become professionals at concert photography, music photography, you need to have a goal on what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Okay, so one of the things you need to do is find a way to drive the correct people or target the right people that you want to have look at your work to your work. Now, you say, well, I've got a website. Okay, well, that's fine and dandy, but if you have a website, how are they going to find your website? How are they going to know what your website's named? How are they going to know how to differentiate it from anything else? What makes your website special, so special that someone will come to your website looking for you? So sometimes that takes some tweaking and takes some adjustments. But what I'm going to recommend is that when you send your emails and your requests to venues, to artists, to management, to all that, you send them to a website. What's the advantage of sending them to a website? They can scroll through the website. It's got just your stuff on it, not everybody else's from all over the world, but it's got your stuff. You can make it whatever size you want to make it, and they can sit there and look at whatever they want to for however long they want to. And it's the people that will be giving you the job of actually going out and taking photographs. Okay, so you want to have a website. You want to have it set up so that your pictures are the best you've got. They're nice and clean, and they can spend as much time in there, just like a department store. You can spend as much time in that department store going from department to department as long as you want without any worries. And it won't disappear on you 2 minutes later and be totally missed. Okay, so some of the things you need to think about is when you set up your website and you send your letter or your request for a media pass, that you tell them that they can look at your Instagram page. Okay, they can also look at your website, and if you have Facebook, you have all the bases covered. So think about this for a second. Who is the most famous music photographer, concert photographer you've heard of? Okay, who is it? It's tough out there. Even the most well-known music photographers, that you could think of out there aren't household names in most places. So making a name for yourself as a concert or music photographer is hard. So when you go out there and you say, "Hi, my name is Joe and I am a music photographer in Fort Worth and I'd like to photograph your band on this date at this location," the chances are the person that you're sending the email to has no earthly clue who the hell you are. They don't have any clue. Okay? So the only way they're going to get a clue about your quality of work is to go to your website, invest their time, take a look at what you do, and see if you're worthy of being out there to photograph their artist. So that's very important. Give you an idea. The two most famous people I know in concert photography, Robert M. Knight. You see Jimi Hendrix on the front? Yep, okay. And Jim Marshall with Janis Joplin on the front. And if you've never heard of either one of these guys, that should tell you the whole status of what you're going to be when you're taking photographs of music. Your chances of being a household name and being on Time magazine is very slim. So you've got to go out and make the work and do the best you can to get the right people to look at your work, point them in the right direction, target them where you want them to be, and that's the big key. If you found any of this helpful, we appreciate a like. Oh man, I'm getting all choked up. Anyway, we appreciate a like. Follow us, please. Subscribe to us. It helps us out. We really like bringing some of this content that nobody else will tell you about and bring to you. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, confusions, man, send us a comment. I'll answer all the comments I can find. Lately it's been finding them, but I can find, and I'll tell you what the most that I can tell you. And thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.